In today's video, I'm going to show you the 7 things you need to know about your repayments, and I'm going to show you how you can pay it off super quick by this one tip. So watch into the end and you'll know how to pay off your home loan quicker. And if you end up liking this video, remember to hit that subscribe button. It'd mean the world to me, and it's free, and you can always unsubscribe. Thanks, and let's dive in. 1. Can you pay off your mortgage fortnightly? Well, let's take a look at how the banks will set up your loan contract, and then we'll be able to understand whether or not you can pay off your home loan fortnightly. So how the banks will work is that they'll put you in a loan term of 30 years typically, and let's just call it a $300,000 home loan. So the way typically lenders will work is that over this 30-year period, you'll pay 360 months in repayments. Now, this is the minimum amount of payments you must make. The term is locked in to a monthly contract over 30 years, and over the 30 years, you'll essentially pay 360 repayments. Now, these are the minimum repayments. However, you can elect to pay both fortnightly and weekly, so you can change this in any way, shape, or form to double or even quadruple if you elect fortnightly or weekly repayments. Now, sticking until the end, we're going to actually show you how you can use either a fortnightly or weekly repayment to pay off your mortgage quicker. 2. Is it better to pay weekly or fortnightly? This is a great question, and we'll get more of an understanding when we look at the parameters, and we'll be able to really understand which is best for you. And it's a little bit of a trick question because you actually see that there's potentially no benefit unless you set it up correctly, and we're going to walk you through that. So looking at monthly, fortnightly, weekly, and we can see that what I've done here is in the black, I've put the number of cycles over a 12-month period. So monthly is 12 cycles or 12 repayment cycles, fortnightly is 26, and weekly is 52. Over 30 years in the blue, we've got 360 payment cycles, with fortnightly 780, and with your weekly 1,560. So all it's showing is that by paying fortnightly, you're paying more repayments than monthly, and paying weekly, you pay even more than fortnightly. The question then becomes, what is the benefit in paying more cycles over the term? Is it substantial? And if so, how much? Well, let's take a look at a bank's calculator and really understand what that is. So what I've got is I've got a bank's calculator up and running. This is a repayment calculator. And what we can see here is that if we borrow $300,000 on a 2.69% interest rate, that over the 30 years, by paying monthly, we'll be paying this much in interest, around $137,000. Now, by increasing the cycles or electing a fortnightly repayment, how much will we save? Well, in actual fact, it's inconsequential. So I'm going to have to copy this figure because I can't even see the difference. So let's have a quick look here. So I'll put in the fortnightly, the interest charged, and let's go back to the monthly because I could barely see the benefit. And we can really have a look at what this actually means. So the difference between the two is $476 on one and $213 on the other, virtually nil. Why this is that the only benefit you're receiving is the interest that you'll gain on the payment being in the account slightly longer. And this is going to make more sense in the next section. So if you stick with me, I'm going to explain this in more detail. 3. How do I calculate fortnightly repayments? And this is where it's all revealed. And this is where a lot of the confusion will subside. So there's really 2 methods of calculation. One's called True Fortnightly. The other one's called Half Monthly. So looking at True Fortnightly in the black, how this works is that the banks will take your 12 months payments and they'll divide that by 26 which equals your true fortnightly repayment. So whether you're paying monthly or true fortnightly, the number of payments over a 12-month period remains the same. And on the previous example, we saw that there was less than a $200 benefit, virtually nil benefit in paying your true fortnightly. And it's the same with your weekly. In the blue, we're going to look at your half monthly. And it's as simple as it sounds. We take the month, we divide that by 2, and we times that by 26. In short, we'll have 13 months of repayments. And with this method, you'll actually see a big benefit in paying off your mortgage quicker. We're going to take an example. We're going to look at this right now, and I'm going to show you exactly what this looks like. Okay, so what we've got here is we've got two repayment calculators side by side, and they're exactly the same. So looking at them, we've got a loan amount of $250,000 over 30 years with a 2.59% interest rate. All I've changed here is the difference between repayments. One is monthly, the other is fortnightly. Now this is true fortnightly repayments. Now we're going to have a look at what a true fortnightly on the right compared to half monthly on the left will result in paying off the mortgage quicker. So what we've got is your monthly repayments of $1,000 a month. Now if we go half monthly, that'll be $500 or 1,000 divided by 2. Let's go ahead and do that now. So it's an extra $39 and we get the $500 per month. What we can see is that you'll actually pay off your mortgage close to 3.3 years quicker and a total of $13,000 in interest saved. So the long and short of it is that the half monthly will pay off your half monthly or your fortnightly repayments will pay off your home loan quicker, not because you're paying more payments over the term. However, it's because you're making an additional month's repayment each year, which ultimately helps you pay off your mortgage much quicker. So when you are looking at fortnightly repayments, keep this in mind. Can be very confusing, and make sure your bank chooses the half monthly repayment for your fortnightly repayment, or if it's weekly, just divide the monthly repayment by 4. What happens if I pay an extra $200 on my monthly repayments? Well, let's check this out and have a look at what this will do with our mortgage. So what I've got here is I've got a $500,000 mortgage with a 2.59% interest rate. Now we've elected monthly repayments here, and I'm going to pop in an extra $200 per month in your repayments. What we can see here is it's almost as good as a fortnightly repayment or a half monthly repayment, saving close to 4 years on your loan term. Now, an extra $200 a month will increase as a loan amount decreases in its benefit. So if you do have extra cash, essentially how to pay off your mortgage quicker is not by changing weekly or fortnightly, but it's by paying more into your home loan each month, week, or fortnightly, which will ultimately allow you to pay off your mortgage quicker. 5. How can I pay my mortgage off in 5 years? Well, like what I said previously, it all comes down to extra payments. Whether it's paying 13 months rather than 12 months in a year in monthly repayments, or whether it's paying extra repayments. So if we look at the example once more, you can see that to pay off this mortgage within a 5-year term, you'd essentially have to put a large amount, an additional $1,600 a week on top of your minimum repayments. And ultimately, you'd save your 25 years and pay off your mortgage within a 5-year term. So with paying off any mortgage, the formula is simple. Pay less interest and pay more repayments, and ultimately you'll pay off the mortgage lightning fast. 6. Do you pay less interest if you pay weekly or fortnightly? The answer is yes. In both occasions, you'll pay less interest, but whether it's a true fortnightly or weekly, or half monthly or quarter monthly for your weekly or fortnightly repayments, in both cases, you'll pay less interest, but there's a big difference in its benefit. So what we can see here is we've got your repayment once more, and we'll go for your monthly figure. And the interest here is close to $220,000. When we go fortnightly, you'll see that there's a slight benefit, less than a $300 difference. Now, this is for a true fortnightly, and you can see again for true weekly, there's an even smaller benefit, virtually inconsequential. When we go for your half monthly, with it being close to $2,000 a month in monthly repayment, taking this up to $1,000 a fortnight, you can see there's a big benefit. So the long and short of it is that you'll want to elect your repayment to the correct methodology, which is either your half monthly or your quarter monthly, depending if you're looking for a weekly or fortnight. 7. Is it better to go for a 15-year term or pay extra on a 30-year term? This is a great question. So if we look at the repayment calculator here, you've got two options. It's to pay extra. So on this occasion, you'd go for a 30-year term and pay an extra $1,366 a month, ultimately paying off your mortgage in 15 years. Or it would be to elect a 15-year loan term and ultimately paying off the mortgage in the same period. Well, my answer to this is quite simple. Going for a 30-year term and having the ability to reduce your payments each month where you see fits will ultimately give you the highest chances of flexibility, meaning that if there's something that pops up that was unexpected, you'd be able to manage it. It's excellent for people who are really good with their money and allows for the flexibilities of the uncertainties in life. Conversely, if you're not the best with money and you want to stick to a regime, then going for the shorter term with no retreat, essentially burning the boats, will also be a great thing, particularly if you're wanting to get ahead and pay off your home loan quicker. Ultimately, by borrowing under your limit and below your capacity, you'll be able to achieve this and it won't cause any stress. However, if you are borrowing to your limit, again, I think that it's always wise to have that little bit of a buffer going for the longer term and allowing you to always retreat to the minimum repayments if need be. And remember, if you'd like this video, remember to hit that subscribe button. Here at Hunter Galloway, we get home loans approved. So if you live in Australia and looking for a mortgage broker, we can help. Head on over to our website, huntergalloway.com.au, or call us on 1300 088 065. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.